Hey there, space enthusiasts and aquatic aficionados. Today we're diving into a cosmic, what if that's wetter than a fish's daydream? What if Venus, our hellishly hot neighbor, had kept its oceans? Buckle up, because we're about to take a splash into an alternate universe where Venus is less inferno and more inflatable pool party. Now I know what you're thinking. Venus? Oceans? Isn't that place hotter than a jalapeno's armpit? Well, you're not wrong, but let's rewind the cosmic clock a few billion years. Once upon a time in a galaxy, well, this galaxy, Venus was a bit of a copycat. It was trying really hard to be Earth's twin. Same size, same mass, and yes, even the same watery fashion sense. But somewhere along the way, Venus went through a phase more dramatic than a teenager's mood swings. Scientists believe that Venus once had oceans, much like Earth. But unlike Earth, Venus couldn't keep its cool. It went through a catastrophic greenhouse effect, turning into the cosmic sauna we know today. But what if Venus had managed to keep its oceans? What if, instead of becoming the poster child for runaway climate change, it had stayed a bit more chill? First off, let's talk temperature. Currently, Venus is cooking at a toasty 462 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt lead and probably your entire Spotify playlist. But with oceans, we'd be looking at something much more manageable. Think Earth-like temperatures where you could actually visit without turning into a human s'more. Speaking of visits, let's talk tourism. Earth's beaches? Please, that's so 2024. Imagine Venusian resorts where the gravity is just a tad lighter. You'd weigh about 10% less on Venus. Hello, instant beach body. And the views? Oh boy, the views would be out of this world. Literally. Picture this. You're lounging on a Venusian beach sipping a cosmic colada. The sky is a perpetual golden hue thanks to Venus's dense atmosphere. It's like an Instagram filter, but in real life. But it's not all sunshine and space margaritas. Remember, a day on Venus lasts longer than its year. 243 Earth days of daylight followed by the same of darkness. Talk about extreme tanning sessions and really long nights out. Now let's get our nerd goggles on and talk science. With oceans, Venus would have a much more Earth-like carbon cycle. No runaway greenhouse effect means no suffocating carbon dioxide atmosphere. Instead, we'd have a planet potentially teeming with life. Imagine the Venusian equivalents of dolphins, but maybe with an extra fin or two. Or seaweed that glows in the dark, because why not? It's an alien ocean! But here's where it gets really interesting. If Venus had oceans, it might have developed plate tectonics like Earth. That means mountains, earthquakes, and volcanoes. Venusian surfers could catch gnarly waves while watching a volcano erupt in the distance. Extreme sports? More like extreme sports. Now let's address the elephant-sized water molecule in the room. How would Venus have kept its oceans in the first place? Well, it would need a magnetic field for starters. This cosmic force field would protect the planet from solar winds that would otherwise strip away its atmosphere and water. Venus would also need to rotate faster. Its current rotation is slower than a sloth on sleeping pills. A faster spin would create a more even distribution of heat, preventing that pesky runaway greenhouse effect. But here's a wild thought. If Venus had oceans, would we be the aliens visiting it instead of Mars? Imagine NASA announcing, "Forget the red planet, we're going to the blue one." The missions would be a bit different, though. Instead of rovers, we'd be sending submarines. Instead of looking for ancient riverbeds, we'd be diving into actual rivers. And instead of hunting for microscopic life, we might be running from Venusian sea monsters. I'm not saying there would definitely be sea monsters, but I'm not saying it either. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Venusian water sports would be out of this world. With the lower gravity, imagine the kinds of jumps you could do on a jet ski. You'd be like an aquatic astronaut. And fishing? Oh boy, Venusian fishing would make Earth's deepest sea creatures look like goldfish. You'd need a lightsaber instead of a flashlight to see in those alien depths. But it's not all fun and games. A wet Venus would have huge implications for our understanding of life in the universe. 2 potentially habitable planets in one solar system? The Drake equation would need a serious update. We'd have to rethink our approach to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Maybe instead of looking for radio signals, we should be looking for intergalactic pool parties. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. If Venus had oceans, wouldn't Earth be different too? You bet your scuba gear it would. The gravitational dance between Earth and Venus would change. Our climate, our tides, maybe even the length of our days could be affected. Who knows, maybe we'd have evolved flippers instead of fingers. Typing would be a real challenge, let me tell you. But perhaps the biggest impact would be on our cosmic perspective. Two blue marbles hanging in the void, both teeming with life? It would be like finding out you have a long-lost twin, but on a planetary scale. The possibilities for cooperation or competition would be endless. Interplanetary Olympics? Check. Galactic Surfing Championships? Double check. An actual space race that doesn't just end with a flag on a dusty moon? Triple check with a cherry on top. In conclusion, if Venus had kept its oceans, our solar system would be a very different place. We'd have a cosmic neighbor that's less Dante's Inferno and more Kevin Costner's Waterworld, but hopefully with better acting. It's a reminder of how fragile the balance of life is and how different things could have been with just a few tweaks to the cosmic recipe. So the next time you look up at that bright evening star, don't just see Venus as it is. Imagine Venus as it could have been. A world of endless oceans, alien life, and the best darned beach parties this side of the Milky Way. And who knows, maybe in some parallel universe, there's a Venusian making a YouTube video asking, what if Venus had lost its oceans? Now that would be a dry topic. Thanks for diving into this cosmic what if with me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, keep looking up, but maybe bring a snorkel just in case.